Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumple One. Tuesday, July 23rd, the year 2013. Zimmerman plus Trayvon equals. How would you fill in that blank? I'll tell you what it equals. It equals a distraction. It is a distraction. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel for Trayvon's parents. It's a sad thing, tragic thing that a young man was cut down early in life. Problem is, could have been avoided. I read where people in 100 cities gathered to protest. They wanted justice for Trayvon. But what does that mean, justice for Trayvon? What would it do? Think about it. Let's just say it went the other way and they put Zimmerman behind bars or gave him the death penalty. Wouldn't bring Trayvon back. Wouldn't do anything for race relations. Wouldn't affect you and me. And you see, that's why it's a distraction. Right now, you have to wonder why there aren't people in thousands of cities across the country protesting what our government's doing to us on the issue of privacy. And think about that. But you see, they want us distracted. They want us divided. I mean, this Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin case, it's just got people split. Look at the blogs and the forums out there and the videos. Race baiting, just dividing people, name calling. It's just ridiculous. Meanwhile, the government's doing the dastardly things that they're doing to all of us. Once again, my fellow Americans, liberty versus tyranny, freedom versus slavery. These are the core issues. I mean, they're shoving Obamacare down our throats or up our you-know-what. Do you want it? I don't. They're forcing it upon us. Once again, they've got the bigger guns, which they're trying to take away from us. They don't want us to even have ammo. They're buying it all up. And then they want to say lead is poisonous and use the EPA to ban lead bullets. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But where's the protest? Where's the outcry? Where is the million-man march on Washington? My fellow Americans, this is not the America I was born into. I don't even recognize this country. I don't recognize the attitudes. Up is down, good is bad. It's just everything has been turned inside out and backwards. And I know a lot of you feel the same way. You see it, you feel it, you're frustrated. What do? What we do as a nation is we elect the same bozos time after time. I mean, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. We allow them to lie to us on a regular, recurring basis. We don't stand up to them. Are we afraid? Are we chicken? Too shy? Oh, some of us don't like to discuss politics. No, let's just not talk about it. Let's just let these guys do what they want to do. Tax us. Take away our freedoms. I mean, I talked about the farce of July. But this Zimmerman Trayvon, it just magnifies everything that's wrong with America. In fact, there was one guy did a video and he pointed it out. Same thing. This thing about Trayvon, it does nothing for the black race of people. It does not. Putting Zimmerman behind bars would do nothing. They also talked about the Paula Deen. You know, taking away her contracts, her money, does nothing to promote the black community. Not a dang thing. See, there's a mindset that's rampant through America that we are deserving of things. No, you got to earn them. That's right. You got to get out there and earn them. And you can't believe the BS. I mean, hey, maybe some people are born into poverty, but they don't have to stay that way. Because there's people who are born into poverty that have gotten out. But if you sit around and bitch, moan, and complain, then guess what? Nothing changes. You got to take personal responsibility. But see, that's something that most people don't want to do. They don't want to look in the mirror and take personal responsibility. They want to blame something outside of them. But you see, doing that gets you nowhere. Keeps you where you are. If anything, sets you back. I mean, the public libraries are there. If you've got poor schools, then go to the library and learn on your own. And you could be the next Google. You could be the next Facebook. You can teach yourself almost anything. You can watch YouTube videos and learn anything. Hey, sometimes there's things I don't know how to fix. There's probably a YouTube video on how to fix it. I watch it and I attempt it. Maybe it works the first time, maybe it doesn't. I don't let anything stop me. And you see, that's the problem, is that people out there are letting those in power stop them. Because they're focusing on things that don't really matter to them, like justice for Trayvon. It's just ridiculous. You know, this whole mindset. I mean, I'm not saying Zimmerman's innocent. I mean, he was found not guilty. But the point is that, you know, he's part of the problem too. It's because he made certain assumptions. He could have walked away. He could have waited for the police. So you see, both parties are quote-unquote responsible. And that's what people don't understand. That's what they don't understand. Personal responsibility. That's what it all gets down to. Now, I was reading some of this Trayvon Zimmerman stuff, and one guy pointed out something, made a comment that made me stop and think. Who would you rather have in your neighborhood, Trayvon or Zimmerman? Who would you rather have for a neighbor? That is a very interesting question when you think about it. Who would you rather have as a neighbor? And why? Because it'd be based on your belief system. So you see, it's a distraction, my fellow Americans. Once again, the government and the media are focusing on things to whip us up in a frenzy, to keep us divided. Because an issue about freedom and liberty is something that would unite us. If we were to say, hey, we don't want the government spying, we don't want the government looking at our emails and listening in on our phone conversations like person of interest, we want to put a stop to that, I think people could rally around it. But then again, I could be wrong. Because there's plenty of people that want to give up our right to own guns and protect ourselves so the government can protect us. But once again, it gets back to what I said earlier. They don't want personal responsibility. They want somebody else to protect them. What happened to the American spirit? When did it die? Who killed it? Did it die of old age? Maybe it was drugged to death. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But my fellow Americans, you just have to see this whole Zimmerman, Trayvon deal for what it is. It is a distraction to keep you from focusing on what really matters to you and your family and your friends and your community. And that's the tyranny of our own United States government. And you know it's true. My fellow Americans, wake up and smell the tyranny.